give me a little bit about your background, kind of where you come from, and yeah, how you ended up in Sioux Falls and what you do.
Okay, so I'm originally from Waubay, South Dakota, which resides on the Sisseton-Wahpeton Oyate tribe, which I'm a descendant of. I graduated from Waubay. I traveled down to the University of South Dakota, where I received my undergrad in social work and coaching. After that, I got pregnant with my daughter, Rain, who's currently 9, and she's in the Sioux Falls School District schools. I moved back home, stayed with my mom. She's a daycare provider. It made sense. And after receiving my master's in social work in 2020, I moved down to Sioux Falls, where I started a job at the Sioux Falls School District as their CTE and community outreach coordinator for the Joe Foss Axtell Park building.
So then, are you actually work for the school district then?
I do not.
Right, so it's separate.
Yeah, you can't run.
Right. So that's what I was wondering.
Yeah. So I had an opportunity come up on a board for the After School Network to accept a position, a full-time position for a volunteer position that I did for the last several years. And I was hired as their Director of Leadership and Culture for the South Dakota After School Network. So I service after-school programs statewide and help with any sort of grant writing or community stuff that they need across the state.
What kind of pushed you around? Why did you want to run for school board?
So experiencing the pandemic with teachers and walking alongside them and recognizing the needs that would follow, and having a daughter within the school district setting inspired me to want to be helpful in that way with my lived experience and knowledge and background working within schools. It really pushed me to know that I was capable of doing something like this, and it was a calling that I wanted to fulfill.
And kind of what do you think you bring to the table when it comes to being on the school board?
Yeah, the lived experiences that I have within working for the Sioux Falls School District and ultimately having 10 plus years working in after school, serving in rural urban spaces, provides a unique perspective for the school board that will add a lot of value. We also are talking about community learning centers that are after school based. And given that's my area of expertise, I feel like I could be really helpful for the school board.
And when you say you work within the district, obviously you're meaning you're working with kids in the district, but not obviously for the district. Is through the after school program is kind of what you're talking about then.
The community learning centers are going to transition from the city to the Sioux Falls School District. So that transition right now is an area, I would say, a hot topic for folks that people are trying to understand. And I feel like I'd be able to bridge that gap in understanding the importance of after school and the importance of having those community centers available for parents, especially working families, in the afternoons.
What are some challenges you see within the district, I guess, that you kind of want to overcome, and what's some of those things that you're seeing that you want to work on?
Since campaigning, there's been a lot of questions about the social studies standards. That's been probably everybody's top of mind question whenever I go to different places. So working towards understanding it and working towards assisting the educators in this process is going to be a huge need. It's not going to be an overnight problem-solving moment. It's going to be one that we're going to have to collaborate together to ensure that we're going to be putting our best foot forward to get the standards implemented in a way that teachers are going to have the full service and understanding to do it.
What are any other challenges or things you see that you kind of have heard or would like to overcome if elected?
Not so much overcome, but just, again, working towards the community learning centers and bridging the gap, because ultimately it's going to be a way for parents and families to connect with the school day by way of having a space for them to pick up their kid at the end of the night and get connected to see how they're doing with their school day. Because right now we have a drop off and go moment for parents where they're not able to sit with teachers or talk to their superintendents. But having this after school programming implemented and having quality program is going to help build a better connection for parents and guardians and school day teachers.
You kind of explained this, but just so I make sure, just to clarify, what is your involvement with community learning centers? Like, how are you involved with the two things?
The community learning centers is just, I have a knowledge of after school programs and how they function. So I know I can be a person, an educator for those who might not understand it and its importance, because this is all new, having the community learning centers transition from the city to the school. There's some confusion, and being able to educate people on it and provide what it can do for a community and what it can do for a school and what it can do for parents and guardians. That's going to be my role moving forward, is what I'm envisioning out.
And then you said specifically for work, so the after school program, you know, what's it, the
After
official-
school network.
So that is not, is that involved with the community learning centers then, or is it separate?
That's separate.
Separate thing, yeah. You just, that was just one of your ideas of.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. What would you like to do, you know, to make the Sioux Falls School District better?
What would I like to do to make it better? That's a great question, Carter. To make Sioux Falls School District better, it's taking the programs that already exist and nourishing them to ensure that the students, families, all children receive the best quality education that they could get. So really diving into, again, what exists, helping it along, and then what was going to work for our most adverse students will ultimately work for all students. So how can we look at those program areas, grow them, educate people on them to ensure that we're giving our children and families the best possible quality education moving forward?
That's pretty much everything I had for you.
Yeah.
Any closing thoughts or things that you'd like voters to know?
What I want people to be well versed on is that we have a school board and its importance. A lot of folks don't generally vote in this election, especially because it's not on, there's nothing else on the ballots, it's just our names, and the voter turnout is incredibly low. Given that this is an important role for you know, Sioux Falls to have, I would love for voters to show up and do the early voting. Early voting starts May 1st and runs through the 15th at the Instructional Planning Center. You can go if you're a registered voter between 8 and 5, and Election Day is May 16th. So getting people excited and motivated to vote and care about their school board, especially because they have a hand in policy making and making big decisions for a big chunk of people, that's the awareness piece that I want to share with everybody.